Okay, let's drink some wine. Hi everybody, I am Brian.
And I'm Paul.
And we're going to do this video within 15 minutes because otherwise we can't show it on YouTube, so I hope you really enjoy it, but we're going to go super fast. Well, not super fast. Anyways, so I work for Vivant Imports and we import delicious wines from Italy. These wines are from the Abruzzo region of Italy. So on the Adriatic Sea, eastern side, underneath the Marche, west or east of Rome, and you may be familiar with the famous grape of Montepulciano, the Abruzzo. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Italo Pietrantonj is the house. Paul, let's start off with the Trebbiano, the Abruzzo. Italo Pietrantonj, one of the, if not the, one of the first wineries in all of Abruzzo. Pretty cool. 1830 is when they began. So we're nearing 200 years for a winery. That's pretty exciting. So, what's really cool about this house is Nicola Pietrantonj is the very first founder. Nicola actually went on to get certified from the school up in the Veneto and was the very first winemaker of Abruzzo to ever have a enology degree, certification to tell him that he is awesome. So, which is fairly exciting. And they do Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, they do Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, they sit in the Valle Peligna, I think that's how you pronounce it, Valle Peligna. We'll go with that.
Close enough.
And so first is this Trebbiano, very awesome little white wine from the east side of Italy, very fruit forward, luscious, under 15 bucks, easy drinking. Paul, tell me about the wine.
All right. Well, I'm getting pears, gardenia, orange blossoms.
Yep. It's very floral.
Yeah, it's
real nice floral, and then lots of that stone fruit. Like you said, the real ripe pears sitting on the fruit. Orange blossom, like you're walking through a gorgeous orchard in Florida. One of my favorite memories.
I think I had this bad stereotype about Trebbiano that's not all that expressive, but this this does not.
Actually, you nailed it on the head. Trebbiano, kind of lame. These guys, they've been doing it for a very long time. In fact, what's kind of cool about these is this is all stainless steel production, and what they've got in 1870, they made these enormous vats, 9,500 gallon oak vats. So we're talking chestnut and oak. Massive, huge, and I hope you understand, 10,000 gallons is a lot of wine.
For an oak vat, 10,000, I mean, depending on the size of your house, it's about a big living room size.
Yeah, full of wine.
Yeah, full of wine.
He's still, they still use this today, but what they did is they actually chopped these old vats in half, had stainless steel inserts built inside of them and put them back together. This place is a museum. The entire winery is a museum. It's super cool. So you've got these 10,000 gallon vats that if you stand, you can look up to. In fact, check out this picture. And these things are so massive that you've got awesome space for doing really cool things with all your grapes. And he's still using them today, which I think is a brilliant little marketing move. Looks really cool, looks super old, and he's using stainless steel. So now let's get on to the Pecorino. These guys do Pecorino, which, hold on, is a grape that you may not be familiar with. Pecorino, it's a cheese, right? It's a delicious cheese, kind of more northern Italy. However, Pecorino, don't be fooled, is a grape. Pecorna, which means sheep. Back in the day, this grape was actually called, way back, this grape was actually called Pecorino because the sheep, this was their favorite grape to munch on. Everyone thought this was extinct until recently. A little tiny canyon up in the Marche, just north, they actually found some wild vines of Pecorino growing. So this is kind of a recent thing. A few of the big houses in the area have brought this back to life, and Italo Pietrantonj, Roberta is the winemaker here. She is doing Pecorino. So this is IGT Valle Peligna Pecorino. little price step up. So basically we're sitting, $14 for this fantastic, full-bodied, very full flavor floral Trebbiano. And this Pecorino, we're sitting just about under the $20 range. Right about $20 on the shelf. Kind of a specialty little niche item, but I think, tell me about it. What do you got?
Well, definitely has that full mouthfeel that you were talking about. I'm getting apples. I'm kind of getting like that oxidative deliciousness about like some. I believe you told me that this was aged on the skins.
It went through a cold maceration on the skins for weeks on end,
which is unusual for white grapes for sure. You usually only see on skins for red wines, which give it the color. But for white wines, they usually pressed right off. But this really has that that different characteristic because it definitely,
And you're right, that oxidative note, which it's not old oxidative. It's just that really kind of gripping. The body is really there for this Pecorino. In fact, maybe this explains the Trebbiano. Trebbiano also does the cold maceration on skins.
Oh, no kidding.
Maybe more people should do that because the flavor is there.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
Nice mouthfeel, really packed full of flavor. This one though is a little bit more minerally. This more flowers, more fruit. This one's a little bit more kind of subdued fruit. Definitely kind of get that minerality tone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clay where they're growing here. In fact, we'll get more to the soil type, but the very organic matter of all of the vineyards in Abruzzo definitely have a lot of clay. And this, I can get that. I taste that.
I do too, actually. Once you, maybe just power of suggestion, but
So check this out. We're talking. We've got these 10,000 gallon vats that now they still use with stainless steel. Pretty awesome. They also have that they don't use anymore. Deep down in the cellar, they dug 14 feet underground. Are these massive, you ready for this, 37,000 gallon cement vats that they lined with Murano tiles.
Wow.
Like the Murano famous glass tiles.
that's a lot of tiles.
That's a lot of tiles. In fact, check out this picture because this shows kind of just an entry into this amazing vat full of tiles that back then they did this for hygienic purposes. They don't use these anymore, but they still have them. In fact, they've kind of cut it open so you can kind of get inside and stick your head in, and it's this gorgeous mosaic of tile.
That sounds like almost the size of a large, or like a small cave.
Absolutely enormous. Enormous.
37,000?
37,000 gallons. So you think that those huge oak vats were big. This is 3.5 times.
That's like your house.
That's our house.
Or three times your house.
Full of wine.
Like that, yeah.
So let's get on to the reds. Italo Pietrantonj, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, DOC. So they're in the south. They don't have the DOCG status that's up in the north. This is all DOC, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. This is their entry level. As you can tell, I mean, just super, super cool old style label. They're 200 years old.
Yeah,
they've got a classic Italian look. Kind of little flared, cool lip. Straight, we call this the black label. Really, really nice. This sits under $15 on the shelf. Both these kind of that $14 price point. This spends about 8 months in big oak vats. Not the ones with stainless now, but just large oak vats. Not a ton of oak influence, but Paul, what are you getting on this?
Lots of fresh fruit. I mean, it's an 07, but I'm getting like pomegranate, strawberry,
blackberry, boysenberry, just really dark berries and plums. Ooh, bright purple plums. That kind of crack and smack all over your mouth. I love those plums.
And kind of like definitely has that brambliness, almost like plum pit or yeah. I don't know why that came to mind, but
so this wine is just juicy. It's really, really great. Sit down and eat this with any of your delicious pizza, Italian food, whatever you'd like. In fact, we forgot to rate these, but we might not have time to rate them. We'll rate them at the end if we're still sitting under 15 minutes. But this is really, really ideal with that simple Italian rustic food. We're having lasagna tonight. Why? Because we're doing Italo Pietrantonj today. So we're going to have lasagna, really, really rich red sauce, fennel seed and all those things. I think they're all going to pop because this wine's luscious.
Yeah.
Very, very fruity, full-bodied, full flavor. but not too complex. You know, it's not over the top. Now, next is the Cerano. The Cerano is also DOC Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, but this is the big boy for Italo Pietrantonj. Roberta is doing an amazing job with this fruit. So like I said, $14. Go ahead.
Drink up.
All right, $14 for the black label. For the Cerano, we're sitting $30. We're now into serious Montepulciano land. A lot of people, you know, Abruzzo for a long time has kind of gotten a bad rap for being, you know, quantity, not quality. You know, they don't want to spend all the money to make really, really nice grape production. They now are changing that significantly, and this bottle right here is absolute proof. You know, sexy package, you know, beautiful, beautiful label. The Cerano is single vineyard Montepulciano, and what's really cool about the Cerano vineyards that they have, these are about 30-year-old vines. They sit kind of tucked away. You know, Abruzzo's super mountainous. You've got the Adriatic Sea, but you also have these just massive mountains that kind of makes these little dips and valleys, and the sun exposure is awesome. Like I said, the soil is super, super rich, organic, very, very full to make this Montepulciano stand out. The Cerano, lots of sun exposure, and you know, very, very naturally done, but also late harvested. Because there's actually this tunnel, this gorge, the Popoli Gorge, comes through with real cool breezes, cools things off, it extends their season. So we have a really, really nice long ripening season here. What do you think?
Which you definitely taste, I feel like. It definitely has that, like, really almost dried plum, dark fruits characteristics.
Yeah. Kind of almost also back into that oxidized, you know, but the good oxidized. It's got that raisin, it's got that stewed fruit, the stewed cherries, the plums.
But then I also like how pretty it is. I get like crushed violets on the nose.
I like it. And actually, so on the oak here, we've seen 12 months of French oak on this wine.
Wow.
So, yeah, not overdone, but definitely integrated.
Yeah.
Luscious. Oh, really, really good.
Soil, like
the grip
gravel.
is there. Nice tannic structure. Absolutely gorgeous wine. You know, it's got the neat berry fruit that the black label's got. Only it's way deeper.
Yeah. Much more
Way
powerful.
deeper. Throw this on a bottle list at a nice Italian restaurant, and no one will be upset to spend 60, 70, 80 bucks on this.
Yeah.
Absolutely rich, umptuous, very, very dirty. I like the violet call. The oak is so well integrated, and it really shows off what the earth style is in this eastern part of Italy. So essentially, we've got this 200-year-old house making exquisite wines, and I don't think we've got the time to go through each single one to rate them, but I'm going to give this a 50 out of 50 point on the winery in stars. 50 out of 50 stars overall, because the wines here show perfectly for most all Italian cuisine occasion. You know, from seafood, from appetizers, to pizza, to lasagna. I will be loving my big glass of Cerano with our hearty lasagna that we're going to be eating here in about an hour or two.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning, stunning wines. They're doing wonderful work. The chocolate play's kind of coming through. Really, really luscious. Really, really delicious. And they're doing wonderful things. So, Italo Pietrantonj, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, Pecorino. Check these wines out. They're exquisite and fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.